for...
We're on. No, we're all good. Hey, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the latest edition of the Mia Connect Power Chat, and I just got booted out of my own chat again. There was 3 of Mias up on the screen. It ain't a party until it's a hot mess. Correct, everybody?
Yeah.
It's always a hot mess. So listen, welcome to the show. This show today is going to be talking with a cool accent. We've been in the green room. Mike Alton and I are trying to think of something cool to say. He might be doing a Father Guido Sarducci, I understand, Mike? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that's coming on the way, but I am very excited to introduce my international panel with a little bit of U.S. flair thrown in, and I'm going to start with some applause. I'm going to start with my favorite Hobbit, Annabelle Hilarski, coming out of Panama. Welcome to the show, honey.
Oh, thank you so much, Mia, for having me in your show. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Annabelle Hilarski from Panama City, Panama. Right now we are in the summer season. I love it. So if you don't know Panama, please come here and visit us.
Yeah, and that's going to be happening soon. Just a little FYIZO. So get ready, you guys, for an IRL that's going to be off the chain when I get my happy self down to Panama with Annabelle and Randy. So, that is going to be good. Next up, we have the dulcet tones of Dave Moore. Welcome to the show, honey.
Thanks, Mia. It's great to be here. I've watched the show a lot of times, and I feel honoured to be here. Also, to be with a group of great people who I've followed on Google Plus and a few other social networks as well. So
yes.
Looking forward to the show.
And where are you out of? I think your accent's giving it away. Honey.
I'm in London at the moment, in England, and this is where I'm based. And yeah, it's winter here, but that just means rain, which means it could also be summer. So as far as we're concerned in this country, so
I love it. Well, we need to get out there. I'm going to do an IRL with you too, so get ready for it. Get London all warmed up for me. I'm telling you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, thank you, darling. We're going to try and say her name all at once. We have Eva. Everybody say it.
Igyanovich.
Welcome to the show, gorgeous. How are you?
Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely.
I'm great because I'm in great company, and my, family name, it's complicated, so just call me Eva. It will be enough. I'm from Belgrade. I'm from Serbia, and it's a small country in Europe. And it's rain here as well as in London, and pretty much instead of winter we have some kind of cold spring. So, well, Dave, when you come to Belgrade, nothing will change that much. And I have to say that I'm really happy and I'm really excited to be here on a Power Chat. And thank you, Mia. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And just so everybody knows, this is Eva's first time. We are popping her cherry. And so everybody be gentle. Eva we're all in a group, actually David and I and Eva, called H Rock Stars. And Eva and I did do a hangout before, but this really is her first official time. So welcome to the show. I'm really excited to have you on, darling. Thank you. And I did get my little comment check up. Last but not least, coming straight out of St. Louis, we've got Mike Alton, who has written 3 blog posts since the show started. That gets 2 applauses. For all of you who know, it's not a show.
You got to say it first.
I got to say it first, exactly, because it is not a show if we don't get to bust Mike Alton for how incredibly prolific he is for being a blog writer. Tell us about you, and I always have to say it. I love your company name, The Social Media Hat. I think it is so entertaining and spot on.
Thank you. I actually brought my social media hat instead of an accent. I don't get an accent. I'm from Ohio originally, so that's about as good as it gets. But yeah, we may bust out Father Guido Sarducci later. Maybe I'll be telling stories of the penultimate breakfast and the apostles sticking Jesus with the bill. So,
I love it. And by the way, did you see I popped out and popped back in? So I'm going to have you repeat what you just said in the event that YouTube decides to go dark right when you're talking. So tell us again, Mike Alton, Social Media Hat, what you're all about, and say it different and even more entertaining.
I don't know that I can. Well, I got my social media hat on, because I'm from the Midwest.
I love it. Hey, by the way, Mike and I'm from Illinois, and are you in Missouri or Illinois?
I'm in Missouri.
Okay, listen, people, I want to let you know there's not that big of a difference, right? It's all the Midwest. So please, we would definitely want to bust out the Father Guido Ducci. Let me pop in here real quick. I'm going to pull up some comments. Does anybody, while I'm pulling them up, does anybody have anybody they really, really want to shout out while I'm pulling up the comments again since I got booted out?
Oh yeah, me. I want to shout out to Kritika. Thank you so much. She's always calling me the Panama Queen. I'm gonna start believing it because I'm not a queen, but because of you, I'm gonna start believing that.
Hi, Kitty Cat. She is so good about being such an advocate for everyone. I absolutely love her. She's got her own show with James Fierce called Get Busy with Jim and Kitty, which I absolutely love. So she is really good about that. How about you, Dave? You have anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I think we should give a shout out to Johan Gaultier of HR Rockstars, who's a little bit poorly at the moment. He's in bed with Angela Goodeve. No, I mean he's in bed with the flu, and Angela Goodeve is looking after him. So let's hope he gets well soon.
Yes, Johan, we absolutely love you, my brother, and he is such a champion for so many people as well. Let me see. Eva, would you like to shout out anybody as I pull up the comments?
Well, since Johan and Kitty are already, in
covered.
In the row, well, I have to say that I'm shouting out to Jason T. Weiser.
Yay, brother.
I love his hangouts. I love his show. And I'm very pragmatic. So I love the way he is doing his work and the guests he brings in, So this is high for Jason.
I love it. Everybody raise your hand who loves Jason T. Weiser. Right here, dude. I know it. That's all for you. And let's send a little prayer out. I know things are pretty crazy where he is right now. He's been posting some things, so everybody send some good energy. I know he's there with his family. Not easy place to be at all. So you're in our prayers, brother, for sure. And Mike Alton, you got anybody you want to give a little special group hug to?
I was just going to piggyback on that and say, yeah, we need to keep Jason and his family and everybody that's over there in our prayers and thoughts, because it's getting crazy. Laws are being passed left and right.
I got goosebumps.
I don't even know what. It's insane. So.
Got to speak out, party people. That's the other thing. You got to really speak out when you're seeing something going on, and then support one another as well. So thank you for that, guys. Real quick, we're going to shout out some of our favorites in the audience. First, we have Lainey Sullivan talking about you, Mike. Love his prolificness. If I could write as fast as Mike Alton, that would be awesome. Rex Star, I love it. It's not a day that ends in Y without Lynn Abate Johnson. Loving this international panel. Everyone is from somewhere. And even Mike was probably hatched from an international egg somewhere. That's awesome. And then we've also got Irene Brody. Hey, everyone. The fun begins. She's from your neck of the woods, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
If you have not met her, Digidash. She's going to be on my show in a couple weeks when I'm going to also have Mark Traphagen and Eric Engie in that. And shit's going to get real when Mark Traphagen starts playing his mandolin. Just so you know. I'm sure you all
Who could argue with that?
Are ready for that. And then we have Nikki Bossy, Midwest Holla. I'm from Illinois. Mark Alton, I need to borrow your hat. So I love it. And hey, before I get any further, I got to give a quick shout out to my continuing show sponsor and business affiliate, and that is Edge Ad Exchange. Go check them out at edgeadexchange.com if you are wanting to get some kick butt targeted web traffic. I'm also partnering with Annabelle's husband, Randy Hilarski, on that. So we all got something going on that little scene. So go check them out and give them a like as well. And guys, we're going to keep pulling up your comments because you know how I love to talk about how cool the panel is. So we are going to dive in. Again, it's the show based on awesome accents. And we're going to start with talking about international business. Of course, we've sort of already covered it with talking about what's going on. And Jason is in the Ukraine, you guys. Is that correct?
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely... It's pretty crazy, but to get into that, so of course, we're always going to add Google Plus into this because my world has changed dramatically since I got on Google Plus and met people like Annabelle and Randy. And Annabelle, I'm going to have you start because I know you are really kicking it hardcore. You're really making yourself known down in Panama and in Latin America, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Mia, again, for having me in your show. Well, as you guys know, Mia is our partner in the at exchange, which is I absolutely love it. You know, she brings all the good people to the business, and we all relate everything together, which I love it. And also, I'm the host of Social Media Guia with Ana Hilarski. That's an Spanish show about marketing, entrepreneurs, people who are doing different stuff for a living. So I totally love it. Beside that, Brandy and I starting to do a tourist business in Panama. So we are bringing a lot of people from different countries to come to Panama and relocation. Sorry. So if you want to know more about Panama, just contact me or contact my husband Randy. I love it. You know.
Oh, who's been to Panama? Anybody on the panel? Okay, not you, Annabelle. Okay, because we all definitely want to get down there. And are you feeling like, for business-wise, that people really are starting? You know, Randy and I have talked about the construction industry and so forth down there. You feel like there's starting to be a little bit more interchange outside of Panama of people coming down there and doing business?
I think it's. I mean, well, I'm gonna be honest. Hiring people in Panama to build buildings or new construction, it's a pain in the ass sometimes. Sorry, my word, because they don't work how exactly you want to. So one of my friend on Google Plus, Jesse H. Hi Jesse. He does construction as you will. So he wants to move to Panama and bring his business and start doing something in Panama. So we absolutely love it. So I see that new construction they are bringing their own people. You know, there are different ways to do business in Panama. There are one way that you can start businesses. You open a business, and the Panamanian government give you your ID or your Panamanian residency, which is good. You know, you just need to invest in Panama. And the other way is that you open your business in a free zone where you don't need to pay any taxes. And you can bring all the people you want from different countries, and your business won't be under the Panamanian law, so there is no issue about it.
That got our attention with free taxes. Everybody's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. The big companies in Panama, like the Porsche, the company who make cars, they are coming to Panama for that area, you know, because there is no area around where they make cars, which is absolutely awesome. And they're gonna bring more jobs for the Panamanians also. So if you want to know more about Panama, about businesses, well, Randy and I, we have our own businesses. And the cool things about this is that we can travel to any country. We just need internet connection on our laptop and do what we have to do. Most people ask me, hey, you always traveling, you're always doing, you're always posting picture in the hammock. Yeah, but I still working from the computer.
You know what, and I love that. I think that's, I want to segue everybody into that too. I think, you know, that's what I'm loving, and I encourage everybody, you know, I'm out of Denver, of saying, like, you know, you need to get out of the 303, unless you obviously got, you know, a brick and mortar, but most of us can translate what we're doing right over the internet, and yeah, have the laptop. That is my dream, by the way. I'm going to do a show from your hammock on my laptop.
Oh, sure.
So everybody,
yeah.
Mark my words on that one too. And I just want to comment, there are a couple people who said they have been to Panama, English Atkins, and then Chef says he's only been to Panama via Van Halen. So for those of you that are in the U.S., they're big Van Halen fans, I can relate to that as well. But what everybody else jump in on there too, of as far as, you know, international business. I mean, like, Mike, do you have any international clients that you're doing business with? Because you can.
Yeah, well, most of my international clients would just be from Canada. I don't.
Okay, that doesn't count. I'm kidding.
I know, Canadians are good.
We have Ralph Kaiser. That was you for you,
yeah.
Ralph Kaiser.
I know. But you're absolutely right. I mean, one of the people that inspired me most was Mike Elgin, and I don't know if you guys have, I mean, almost everybody knows who Mike Elgin is on Google Plus. He's got he just passed 3 million followers.
Oh, that little Google Plus hooker.
And, you know, he caught my attention middle of last year. He was sharing pictures of Barcelona, which is where I honeymooned, and I love Barcelona, and I loved the idea of going back to work in Barcelona, because just like Annabelle and many of you, I really could work from almost anywhere, you know, with the exception of you know, losing that connection to local family.
Sure.
And that's what Mike did for like a year. He was a digital nomad. And I was so jealous, because I'd pop into Google Plus, and he's posting pictures, you know, on Las Ramblas with this cafe omelette and his laptop. And I'm like, oh, I want that.
Everybody take a moment. We're all like this. Oh. Right? But I love that digital nomad. I'm totally writing that down, by the way. That's such a perfect way to put it, Mike.
Yeah, I invented that phrase right after Mike said it.
Oh, Mia froze.
I think she left.
Oh, Mia, come back.
Mia,
Come
And
Mia,
so
back.
now Eva's going to take over as the host of the
Yeah,
show. Go,
take it
Eva.
away, Eva.
Yeah, oh, okay. So, oh,
Uh,
Sugar, she's back. Before
I
I
was trying to
stole my
pronounce your name
chance.
earlier, Eva. You know?
No, she stole my
I
chance to
keep
be a
getting booted out of
host.
my own show, but God love it. I'm going to keep coming back. Whoever is messing. I think Mercury's in retrograde again. I swear to God.
It's because of me, Mia.
No,
Like,
it's not
Oh
because of you,
no.
Eva.
no, because I don't believe in that, but every planet that I have in something important, I don't know what,
Right.
my mother would know. It's a Mars, it's a Saturn, it's something, like dark, big, and, and dark,
The
So
Death
this is
Star.
probably because of
I
me.
think it is the Death Star. Actually, I'm actually going with and Mike Alton. By the way, that probably got your attention, buddy, because Mike and I are. I don't know who's the bigger
Oh,
Star Wars nerd. I don't
I think
know.
I settled that.
What'd you say?
Really?
Oh,
I think I just settled
I'll tell
that.
you,
I think
I'll
you
give you a
said-
very, I'll tell
Boom.
you a very strange story about Star Wars. A friend of mine did,
Ooh, good one,
a friend of
Eva.
mine did film extra work, and he was working on the Phantom Menace.
No way. Oh, by the
And-
way, is that your mask doing that, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
I
God,
love
I thought-
it.
I
It'll stop
actually thought that was
eventually.
just in my head, you know.
No,
that
it was not just in your head. Boy, we segue
Right.
fast. I love it. So you had a friend
yeah,
that was
he was
working on the
doing-
Phantom Menace?
Yeah, he did film extra work on the Phantom Menace, and he had all of these Star Wars figures in his room. He collected them for years,
Oh,
and he was only about 23, 24 when he was doing this. And he said, "I've been looking for George Lucas, but I haven't seen him. We've got second unit director there all the time." And I went up with my family then, it was in the late 90s, to the Hard Rock Cafe in London. So I went in and I said, "Have you got a table for 6?" So we had some friends with us, and this girl said, "Yeah." She said, "You can sit at that round table over there. There's a guy over there just paying his bill." So I walked over there, and the guy was putting his, picking his receipt and everything up. And I said to him, "Are you George Lucas?" And he said, "Yeah, I am." Because I just recognised him immediately. And I said, "Do you know a guy called Warren Shaw?" And he said, "No." I said, "Well, he's been working on your film for about 6 months. He's been looking for you, and I found you in here." And he gave me a text pager number for him. And I
stop.
gave it to Warren, and he paged him, and he met him about 3 or 4 days later at the wherever studio it was that he was filming at. But
Did you just wet your pants, Mike? just, just hearing that story, like, yeah, people like us just lose our mind. I'm sorry to call you out on that, but take that as a, was he really cool, by the way?
It was a really nice. Well, I didn't really know him, but when I spoke to him, he was a really nice guy, you know. But it was very ordinary. But it was so
I love it.
visually. If you've seen him, you just think that's George Lucas.
Yeah,
You know,
He was
it just
average,
fitted.
I suppose.
exactly,
What?
exactly. He's what,
It
Eva?
just, yeah,
No,
it just fitted that like photo fit of him. You know,
Right. It looks exactly like that. Now, I have to say, and this could be fighting words for people, but personally, I only consider Star Wars Episode 4 and 5 to be the viable Star Wars. I'm not even into Return of the Jedi. I know those are fighting words, and I just want to say that out loud, that I'm really...
Oh,
yeah.
And she's gone.
And she's
Oh,
gone.
God.
I can tell you.
that's what happens when you diss Star Wars.
That's right.
I gotta be
I
honest.
got to Star Wars is a Darth Vader figurine that I have in my car for good luck. I know it sounds crazy, but that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That
a
right there,
figurine,
Mia, was
like-
Revenge of the Ewoks.
That was Revenge of the Ewoks. That is complete BS. I think Google just said, F you, Mia, and your opinion on Star Wars. And that's all we have to say about
I
that.
think they just removed your false.
I think they did.
Yeah.
They absolutely did. So I love the Star Wars thing though, and I think I probably when I pull up the comments again, I'm gonna wait to see how many people want to meet me by the bike racks at 3 o'clock for what I just said. about Star Wars. And I one more comment, Mike. How do you feel about that? And then we're going to segue back to international. What is your favorite Star Wars? I'm going to give you a second to talk about that.
Well,
What's your favorite one?
Yeah, my favorite's got to be Empire Strikes Back.
Thank you.
I gotta share. My wife found the cutest book on Amazon. It's Darth Vader's Princess, I think, and it's a little book about if Darth Vader had actually raised Leia. So it's a book for me to read to my little girl, and there are just some wonderful scenes in there. Like there's one scene where Leia is a young woman, and she's at the dinner table with Vader, and she says, "I said I love you," and he said, "I know."
Which, by the way, I saw that, when I was a 16-year-old, and that line when he said, "I know," I was like, oh, I'm so hooked on Harrison Ford, and Han Solo was the it for me. That's so funny. Was that not like the best line, by the way? Hey, speaking of which, we're going to nerd out for one more second. Let's try and get Peter Mayhew on the show, because he is the original Chewbacca, and he released some pictures on Twitter. Mike, did you see those, by the way?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my God, they were amazing, you guys. All these amazing photos he took on the set in, I guess, Tunisia when they did the show. God, I'm really nerding out. Whew, man. But anyway, Peter Mayhew is on Twitter, and he is the original Wookiee. And so let's all give a shout out and try and get Peter Mayhew to come on, and then I will bring you guys back, and we can nerd out hardcore for sure. So I love it. Look at writing that down, Dave. He's like, Peter Mayhew, I got to get him on the show. I think he is.
I'm
English,
writing down.
by the way.
Remind Mia. Get Darth.
Exactly. Yeah, if I could get Carrie Fisher, actually, I would probably lose my mind, because she's supposed to be hilarious. So, all right, Eva, I'm going to segue to you, honey. What kind of business are you doing? You're over in Serbia, and I know that, let's talk about, I know Pinterest. So we've got two little Pinterest experts on the panel. Mike's also with Hootsuite. But let's talk about that, about what you're doing for business over where you are.
Well, Serbia is a small country with lousy economics, and pretty much nothing is good here. So I have a photo studio, and I do photography. Sometimes I take them, but I have a lot of photographers that work for me, and their skills are much bigger than mine, and in special areas. And the other part is I'm consultant for marketing and for business and finances, client service, and generally communication. So I have clients of my own here, but as I said, situation in my country is not very well.
Right.
And I'm always trying to widen the scope of, a target market and people, who are willing to hire me. So that has nothing to do with Pinterest at the moment.
Right.
So at this moment, I'm that's my brand. That's what I am, not the work that I do, But
kind of two separate things, and are you looking to marry those together?
Probably, but in next like 6 months, because, for example, today, after like 6 months of work, I will post and publish my first post on my very own blog, because I've been writing before, but not on my blog, and now everything is finished. And in next 6 months, I will probably connect Pinterest with my work, and that would be it. But by that time, I'm building up community, which is like one of the strategy. Yes.
You definitely have, girlfriend. Can I just tell you real quick that Kitty just outed you? If there's anybody that's going to do that, it's you, because apparently you have an IQ of 500 plus.
Oh my!
You've been outed, girlfriend.
Kitty,
Smarty pants.
No.
I always joke about smarty pants, but now I'm not.
I don't think I'm that smart. I think I'm pretty much average. But there is one thing that I do, and that's something that I consult people to do, like advice. Be observer. I went, for example, on Pinterest, and I'm there for a year, not longer, and I'm with strange name and everything else. And I observed for 2 weeks how people behave on Pinterest.
Wow.
And I think that I'm just have a different approach to things, and having IQ of 500, I think that I would be probably homicidal maniac, but
But a really smart one.
yeah, smart ass,
Very smart.
A smart ass, right? Oh, I
yeah,
love it.
but that won't be interesting, and so I just I I like to take time with communication and human behavior. I think that
Mm.
that gives it all, So for 2 weeks, I really didn't read anything about Pinterest. I didn't ask for tips or anything else. I just observed how people behave there.
Gotcha.
Wow, that's
And
And
awesome.
that, what'd you
yeah,
say, Annabelle?
That's awesome.
It
I, I
is,
I
yeah.
never heard about that term. I always see like how to use Pinterest for selling, for marketing, but when someone say how people behave from Pinterest, that's something else and something awesome.
Well, and you've got that background. I was gonna say that totally appeals to you, Annabelle, that you have a background in, is it in psychology?
Yeah, in psychology. I'm a psychologist, so I'm studying the behavior of some people on social media, by the way.
I know. I always get nervous when she's talking to me. I'm like, is she analyzing me in
That,
Spanish?
that's the question that everyone asks me. Are you analyzing? When you say, "Oh, you are a psychology," are you analyzing me?
You're
No,
looking at
of
me weird.
course. It's so funny. It's so funny.
You guys know, I bet you love that. I think that's such a great way to do that. Of just sit back and observe instead of just coming in and blasting people with it. Is just sitting back and looking for trends, looking for the people you want to follow, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, pretty
I
much. But every social network uh, is pretty much same in the basics. I did the
Mhm.
same thing with Google Plus. I was there, and I was there for a long time, but I'm active like for the last 3 months, and most of the time I just sit and observe, and then I do something that has connection with me. I don't
Mhm.
like to, I'm not going to do something just so that people will like me, but
Right.
it wouldn't be nice, it wouldn't be fair, it wouldn't be authentic. But basically, I like to see how people behave, and what's the cause, what's the reaction to something. And I know that sounds a bit, off the topic, but for the last 15 years, I've been doing marketing, and I've been doing observations for 15 years. And so far,
Sure.
awesome.
That's how you spot trends, though, Eva. Is that type of thing. If you're in marketing and watching, what are some of the more interesting things or weird? I love weird, so give me some of that if you got some. Or interesting things that you've observed that either people are posting. I mean, I know. Let me give you an example real quick. I know that right now I've heard that the U.S. is out of Velveeta cheese due to the fact that there was some recipe posted on Pinterest that, Mike, you can pipe in here, that called for Velveeta cheese. And of course, everybody's having a fit because the Super Bowl's coming up. So that's one trend that I noticed. Honestly, I don't know if
it's bizarre.
it's correct. It is. And why wasn't it Kraft? Thinking we need to have some more. Have you even heard that it's the craziest non-cheese cheese in the world, by the way?
Yeah, I've heard something, but it's just that, it's really bizarre. Now I'm trying, to digest the information,
Sorry.
like from Pinterest recipe to lack of cheese. I mean, people, what are you doing?
Buying Kraft cheese, apparently.
That's
So
funny.
But I love the idea of some kind of rush on a product or a trend or something starting just simply based on that of creating a need or a pain point. I guess that's a
I'll
pain
tell
point.
you what will be a rush in about 20 years, probably.
What's that?
Well, in 20 years, and that's an average time, they will
Hold
came
on, we
up.
got
They
time.
will, yeah, they will come
So
up
you
with.
got time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh
I'll
no,
slow
no, go
down.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'll just say this because I really think that this will be a interesting thing. In 20 years, they will probably produce a small tablet with nanites in it, and you will take the tablet and it will repair all your damaged cells. So it will not just stop the aging, it will return it to like 20 years ago.
Oh man, see, I'm going to be I'll look the same age that I look right now in 20 years is what you're telling me. So
Yeah.
darn it, I wish they'd hurry up on that because I'd rather have a younger version of me that's more permanent.
Yeah, you can even get younger.
I agree, though.
You know?
Yeah. Oh,
So
I
that will be probably a hit, and I'm collecting my money for that. You know,
okay.
yeah, you know, because I'll turn 40 in March, and like in 20 years I'll be 60. If I get to this, like in 20 years, it will be good, you know. So I think that will be a trend in 20 years. And she's out.
She's gone.
And
I've decided that apparently I shouldn't have complained about my age. Let's guess each time I get booted out of the show why it is.
well, so I'm done. Please.
Oh no.
Eva, did you say that Serbia isn't very good at the moment?
The economy.
Economy
And
is.
it's not a very
like
nice place?
non-existent.
Right. Did you say it's not a very nice place or something?
Yeah, it's a nice place, and people can be nice, but we don't produce anything. And
Interesting.
you know, when you don't
Right.
make
You don't have a national product then, right?
Yeah, we don't. We sold everything. We are in debt out to here, you know, and there's nothing happening. People live on 200 euros a month if they're lucky.
Right.
Wow.
You know,
So-
and we are in the Europe, not some African countries. So I'm sorry, Serbia, for getting this on air, but we are in.
You know what? I'm probably going to get booted out because you just said that.
No, can
Not
I
me.
just say something? Sorry. Why are we going to Serbia next week?
Are you going to send an email right now? Mike's going to write a blog post about it
Yeah.
too.
What's going
You're
on?
coming to Serbia to see me.
Yes.
As well.
Exactly. And here's a quick question for you, not to get historical on this, but Eva, would that have been honestly from the war that was, what was it? Has it been 20 years, 25 years? Does that kind of affect you guys? And
It started in 1991, and
Okay.
it lasted like for 5-6 years, and then we got bombed in the 1999, and you know, like it's 20 years of collapse, you know.
right.
So, and we have bad politicians, and they don't do their job properly, and a lot of corruption, and you know, so things are pretty much messy. And in the next 50 years, I don't think that anything will change dramatically. And 50 years is a lot for one person, for one life, individual, you know.
Absolutely it is. But I heard it is beautiful.
Yeah, Serbia is very nice country, beautiful, and people are very, you know, very nice, and they will welcome you, and you'll be part of their family. But everything else, you know, is just not the right thing.
Well, and this is what I love the show as a platform for too. Obviously, we goof around, but I love everybody presenting information. It is a get your learn on, and having people on that, unless you've got somebody there. But again, this is why I'm loving the international feel for Google Plus, is that I can have conversations with you or with Annabelle and talk about what these, you know, really these definitive things are that you're not going to hear on CNN or something like that, and you can kind of get that out, and then also get the word out of something like come and visit Serbia or get out of Serbia or whatever. Kind of get the word out. And then, Dave, I'm going to segue to you real quick as well, because I know you have our little international flair. You've got the transformation business. Talk about.
Yeah, well, the transformation business has been going for quite a while. I find the internet sort of, the world has turned into the world is a lot smaller now as far as internet. I mean, I wouldn't want to paint it, but it's still a small place, and it's now you can do business all over without having to travel. Unfortunately, with the sort of work that we do, we have to go somewhere to do it. But a lot of the time, I work with companies that are internet based, and they work online nearly, well, probably not exclusively, but certainly 95% of the time. But even for a solopreneur or somebody on their own starting a business, I think being around great groups and communities means that a solo business person is never really alone anymore. because they have the ability to be able to get into groups, maybe groups like this and other communities, and find like-minded people and find people who have had the same issues and challenges that they've had. But our work really doesn't necessarily take in too much of the online, because things like Pinterest are very new to me. One of my guys set up a Pinterest board for me, and then I was getting emails from Eva saying, I put this photograph on your Pinterest board, and it was about 2 weeks later, and I thought, you know, so I don't really keep up to speed with it. And the website that we're producing for February, that we're relaunching everything that we do under a new brand, I've had very little input with it. I've given my ideas over, and I keep saying, yes, I like that, I don't like this, but I'm very happy to hand the reins over to people who specialize in things, you know, and we try to tell people that sometimes you have to let the control of something go to somebody who knows better than you do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the whole idea of IQs being very high, the EQ is the more important, I think, because that's why people with very high IQs work for people with low IQs. Is because the people with the low IQs know how to put people together and keep everybody happy and working and the business running. They may not know how many men it takes to fill up a bath of water in a thunderstorm halfway up a mountain, as one of the
because that's an important thing we all need to know. It is it. But, that's so funny.
You know, I mean, I know how to put this person with that person, how to get this company to work, and we take companies and individuals, we strip them back to their basic, you know, take them back to zero, and then we rebuild the company. And when we were saying earlier about sitting back and looking, a lot of people sit back and look at communities and they look at groups and see what's going on, and suddenly something triggers it off and they join. What we do is we go into companies, if we're not doing a standalone seminar that anybody can come to, a 3 or 4 day event, we go into a company and we work in the company for a week.
It's a great idea. And so you immerse
yourself. They know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the beauty of it is, I don't care whether your finance department doesn't talk to your HR department. And I don't care whether your HR department is annoyed with the sales department. I see it as a surgeon cutting out a cancer that's destroying either the person or destroying the company from within, because you see it with a fresh pair of eyes, and you have none of the BS and the protocols and the red tape that the company has. So you employed us, you brought us in to do this, and that's really what we do. We do it on a personal transformational level. And I had 15 years working in the firewalk business, and I've been a sales trainer for nearly 20 years while that was going on.
And then, Dave, can I jump in for a second? Is that when you say firewalk, are we talking literally like take your shoes off and go walk on fire? When you say firewalk, okay. Like the hot rocks business, right?
The hot rocks, we have walking on broken glass.
Crazy.
Board breaking, and we were doing that for ages, and it really came about accidentally. We ran 2 or 3 day training courses for sales and leadership and peak performance training and attitudinal training.
Love it.
And at the end of it, we had to have a metaphor. So we had people coming up smashing pieces of wood karate style, which was really popular in the 90s, and we needed a new metaphor. And I was in America with a guy over in Los Angeles, and I saw this event, this firewalk event. So I went, and it was Tolly Bocan, and I sort of picked it up, and I'd done my training and got the qualification for it. We brought it back, so we put it in at the end of training courses, so that at the end of the training course we put them again through a couple of hours worth of mental torture of NLP and hypnotherapy and hypnosis and hypnotic language. So they understood how they worked, and then they believed that they'd already done it to such an extent they could go out and invade a small country. But what they did, they went out and they walked on red hot coals. And the guy came up to me and said, "Have you ever considered doing it for charity?" And I said, "Well, no, I hadn't." And he gave me this name. I won't name the charity, but he gave me the name of the charity. And we put this package together, and they raised probably the equivalent of $30,000 in one night.
Wow.
With sponsorship. And it took off. And so we spent 10 years doing this for charities. And in total, I worked it out because we gave it, I closed it down a little while ago because so many people have been doing it for years and everybody knows somebody that's done it. It's raised just about £1.5 million for charity.
Wow.
And we had no injuries. It was state of mind and physics, and it was belief systems, and it was the attitude. All we consider is the first step onto the firebed. The other 5 or 6 steps follow very quickly, believe me. But they have to be able to stand there.
I would look like
and
a
believe.
Cartoon character running, like just right across it.
Oh yeah, but it's people always say, "What happens if I fall over?" Well, you'll get up very quickly, but you won't fall over because we moderate you across. And so it's been very successful. And
I love it.
I like Annabelle.
Yes.
Like you, the psychology side of it. I took my doctorate in psychology, and I'm very interested in the way people think, the way they behave, and so I've now sort of steered the business into that area, and so we're going to be holding seminars for people who want to get a better understanding of where they are in their life and also how to get what it is that they're aiming at. And that's the area we're going. It's a lot less scary, but a lot more informative.
But definitely needed. I'm going to give a quick shout out. Lance Fields, hi brother. He says, HPT Transformation. I'm all about transformational sharing. Thank you, good sir. He was on my show last week, so I knew that was going to really resonate with him. And I want to point this out real quick, and then Mike, I want to talk about you and what you're doing in St. Louis. But Dave, I love that idea. You're so right. I love it that now a lot of people are a lot more connected, because most of us as entrepreneurs know that feeling of isolation is immense at times. So it has been really nice to find these communities, right, that we can all connect to and say, I've got this problem, I've got this, I have this need, or I have this I want to share and talk out. It's been pretty life-changing for me as well, too. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where more, I love how you say consortium. It's much cooler when you say it. Could you say it for me?
Consortium.
Yeah, consortium, exactly.
Consortium.
And by the way, if you were one of those guys that came through my company, you would charm me into saying anything. I'm like, that bitch told everything, because you got me to say everything.
Fair enough. I actually have a very large beachfront villa for sale in the middle of Moscow, if you're interested.
And that will be my IRL, by the way. It'll be like in real life, and I show up and there's nothing there too. So, and I'm going to give this a quick shout out to Heather Crafter. Thank you for. She says, it just disappeared. Darn it all. She wanted to give us a shout out for saying, good for you for still going through the show with all the technical difficulties. Heather Crafter, by the way, she's crafty. Love her. You guys need to go look her up. So, Mike, talk to us about what you're doing then with Hootsuite, and what. Give us a couple tips on what you think all of us can use it for, besides the big obvious.
Well, and it's funny because not related to that question at all, but I was just thinking while Dave was talking that he's really talking a lot about collaboration, which is your big word for this year.
Everybody is the year of the collaboration. I think the two biggest, and I bet you guys can all agree, one is authenticity. It's going to be so overused and I don't care. And collaboration, it is the new competition. So yeah, I love, Dave, that you are going to really be, and you're helping companies to buy into that, correct?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Loving it, brother.
Yeah. If you can fake authenticity, you've got it made.
If you can fake authenticity. Well, I think that might be under the fake it till you make it category, correct?
Yeah, those old hackneyed phrases. Now, authenticity, I agree with you. Sorry, Mike. Authenticity is a very, very big thing. If you come from that environment and you worked in those environments, you stand in front of people with authenticity, because I've been where you are and I know what your job is like. That's always a good thing.
So empathy.
Well, it's funny because that's why I've been educating people so much on the different things they can do with Hootsuite, is so they can be authentic. I saw myself when I first started using Hootsuite and other different kinds of social media tools. It's really easy to be inauthentic. You know, you just set up a message and you blast it everywhere, and it's the same, and it's automated, and it's not authentic at all.
And super canned, right? Like
yeah,
it can be real.
super easy, too easy. I get asked every day by clients, you know, can I just hit a button and have my new blog post shared everywhere? And I said, well, you can.
But do you want
to? You know, one of my more popular blog posts was what I do after I publish a blog.
Yes,
you know,
that was good. By
it's
the
like
way,
20 plus things that I do after every single blog post, and you know, I get it's a list of 20 different things, so it's kind of overwhelming. But it only takes me half an hour to go through the entire list. You know, so if you're only investing 30 minutes in promoting a post that only took you maybe an hour or two tops to write, if you've been practicing, what's the big deal?
Don't get crazy, Mike Alton. ain't everybody like you, darling. So I am no Mike Alton, so I know.
Yeah. Well, you know, and
but you're right,
that's
though.
one of the things that we also end up talking about quite a lot is how much time people spend on blog posts. How much time should you spend on a post? And a lot of it's understanding the psychology that, you know, if I'm not born a blogger, I'm not going to just start cranking out wonderful blog posts. That's going to take time and practice like anything else that we do.
Absolutely.
And if you stick with it and you follow some tips and guidelines, most people should be able to write a blog post in about an hour or so. But yeah, the point was, you know, don't use Hootsuite to just blast that title link out to all your social networks.
Right, the exact same message, cookie cutter. Right, and just real quick for people who just don't know anything about Hootsuite, can you give us a quick overview of what Hootsuite is and what it does?
Yeah, like many different tools, it's a social media management tool. The idea behind Hootsuite is to give you a dashboard where not only can you share messages to connected social media accounts, but you can monitor any account that you have set up. So it's a dashboard, which means it's very dense. It's not pretty.
If you're looking for pretty, keep shopping. Exactly.
And with it, yeah, and there's pretty options out there. But I didn't like them as much, so I started using Hootsuite more and more. Now I started talking about Hootsuite more and more, and I'm not on the Hootsuite payroll, so you know, yeah, if you go to my site and you click a link to sign up for a trial, I'll get a couple bucks as an affiliate. So there's my disclaimer, FCC. But
wait, I'm probably gonna get booted off the show now. Just
don't mention Star Wars. Don't mention Star Wars.
Don't say Death Star. Don't say Death Star.
But I talk about Hootsuite because I like it. I genuinely and honestly use Hootsuite every single day.
Yeah.
And I use it for social media listening and monitoring. I use it to pay attention to conversations that are taking place on Twitter, on Google+. I use it for Twitter chats. I don't do a whole lot of Twitter chats, but when I do, I'm gonna use Hootsuite for that because it's just, you've got, like I said, these tabs, and within the tabs you can have streams of data, and the streams are usually posts from other people, and it could be a search that you saved.
Right.
It could be a circle of people that you've created in Google+. You can monitor circles within Hootsuite. A lot of people don't know that.
I love that, by the way. Oh, go ahead. Jump ahead, Annabelle.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say something about Mike Alton. You know, he's awesome. He always say thank you. After you share his content or you share something from his profile, he always say thank you. You know, I wish more people take the time to say that.
Good shout out from Mike, honey.
I love it, yeah.
But you know what, Annabelle, like with that, I think, and then we all do that, like you are really good about that too. That's how you built your circles so far. Not that we're size queens, disclaimer. However, a lot of us have built some tremendous circles because of that kind of behavior, like you're calling out for Mike and for you as well, of saying, hey, thank you. So that, you know, that talking with people, that communicating. So when you add in things like Hootsuite and have that, and then that gives you time to go back and comment. And then I also want to say what I'm loving, Mike, and I think it's encouragement for all of us, is finding that thing that we like. You like Hootsuite, and then you started a dialogue with them. That's collaboration right there. That's smart. I dig it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's unique, he's himself, he's original. Oh my God, I'm a stalker now.
Wait a second. I think you just outed yourself. And somebody please time track the moment when Annabelle outed herself for stalking Mike Alden. I think we all do. What I'm loving too, that is my phrase, I'm going to gently stalk you. So I am loving that too. Mike, speaking of, I would like to have a show on Hootsuite and a little one-on-one time with you on doing that, because I actually did not realize that about circles. Mm-hmm. You could monitor that too. Here's an important question. This came up on the 2014 or 2013 wrap-up that we had with Dustin Stout. Can you post to your personal G+ using Hootsuite, and does it mess up any of the +1 sharing SEO algorithm if you do that when you're sharing someone else's? Go.
Yeah, it's a good question. Most of the tools that are out there don't support personal Google Plus profile. Okay. There's really only like 2. There's a little app called Every Post. It doesn't have scheduling, so
okay.
Every Post.
Okay.
And it's an app for your phone or your iPad or your Android device that'll support personal G+. And there's the Do Share extension for Chrome that'll support personal. So the major social media management dashboards like Sprout Social and Hootsuite and so on, they only support pages, which is definitely a downside from that perspective. Some people don't want them to support personal. They don't want scheduled mess. An automated mess. My opinion is, if you're going to go out and you're going to automate a bunch of spammy stuff on your personal profile, I'm just going to uncircle you. So knock yourself out.
You get the smackdown. Exactly. I love that. And hey, Mike, could you make sure to post your link, because I'm seeing in the comments you got some people that are like, "Ooh, Hootsuite, what?" So.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love anything that's the automated type of thing. So, and I have to give a shout out to Lainey Sullivan, because she did turn me on to Do Share, which I have not used yet. I probably will use it for that, but I am a Hootsuite girl, so just so you know. Speaking of Smackdowns, before I go, apparently on the event, Richard Mills has been posting a bunch of pictures, so I'm going to have to take you to the woodshed when I get off the show here, Richard. But if anybody feels like they want to delete him, I have no filter when it comes to my events, but I'm afraid to open anything because I think it'll get booted out. I might even get booted out on this one too. This is a quick shout out to my man Greg Boysa, Littrell, as Annabelle calls him. Good job keeping it going while you have minor technical issues. I'd say minor is just a huge understatement, right? So, guys, we have chatted it up almost to the beginning or to the end of the hour. I want to give plenty of time, because you know what it's time for. That crap crazy. And I'm waiting to see if my gentlemen in the audience have gotten the inspiration. I'm not going to call you out. I'm going to start with Annabelle, and I want to hear what she is bat crap crazy, because I remember what her last bat crap crazy was on my last show, and I'm still crazy for it. So tell us, Annabelle, what are you bat crap crazy about?
Well, bat crap crazy. Did I say it right?
Well, I just want to have you say it again, because I love it when anyone with an accent says it.
Bat crap crazy. About Mia, thank you so much. You're the best partner that we ever have.
Thank you, darling.
I'm back crazy about Ralph Kaiser, who is our other partners in the exchange.
This is what gives.
I love you guys.
Sorry.
I love you guys. You are the best.
Thank you, darling. And he really is. I love it. Thank you, sweetie. And just so you guys know, the last time Annabelle was crazy and bat crap crazy hobbits, which is now why we call her my favorite hobbit, because she loves them so much, and she's also short like one.
Yeah, McNuggets. That's how you call me in the t-shirt, McNuggets.
Oh, she's a people McNugget. I posted on her Facebook wall that I'm not short. I'm just a people McNugget. So that was for my girl. All right, Dave. The pressure is on. Even more. What are you back crazy about, honey?
I'm back crazy about all the people who are leaving the comments on this.
Me too. I like that.
Yeah, say, good, right. Now that means that you've got to think of a different one, see?
Damn it. Wow, that's bold. But I jumped in my own game.
I'm also back crazy about everybody on this broadcast here and everybody else in the world. Now over to you, Mia.
I like that one. And if he was in a beauty contest, he'd be like, I'd like world peace. Right? And I am.
I'd like a piece
you know what
of
I
the
love
world,
about you? I believe it though, because I know that you have such a big heart and are genuinely bat crap crazy about for people and really want to promote it. So I'm loving it. I'm just gonna sneak in an extra bat crap crazy about you. How's that? All right, Miss Eva.
The check is in the post.
Exactly, right. Send it by wire. Miss Eva, you gorgeous number. Tell us what you're bat crap crazy about.
There are a lot of things that I'm bat crap crazy, but I'll take three, and I'll skip, the people here and the panel people, because this is fantastic experience overall, and like Google Plus is amazing thing that happened to me, and truly, this is not overstatement, this is not sucking up. Like Google Plus is amazing platform, and I'm really bat crap crazy that I'm here. But I'm gonna say it this: I'm bat crap crazy about communication.
Love it.
And because everything starts there, and it's not just the contact; it's about communication and how it evolves further and the opportunities that it brings. So that's one thing. I'm bat crap crazy about my animals. That's for sure.
Ooh, love it. I love that one.
And I have them a lot. Well, I'm bat crap crazy about people who genuinely share their ideas.
Amen.
And that's my top three at this time.
I think those are fabulous. It's, engagement, communication, animals, duh, in my world. Absolutely. I love all of that. And then people sharing, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. So, you know what, Mike, the pressure's on. You need to come up with something super cool now, brother.
I got it. I got a tip. I got a tip and some guava for you.
Woo!
So the tip is Hootsuite, like I mentioned, you can use that to share to a Google Plus page, right, for your business. The formatting works. So you can use the nice asterisks on either end to title your post. You can do paragraph breaks. You can use underscores on either side to italicize.
Right, italicize, yeah.
Hashtags. The only thing you can't do is mention, because of the way Google Plus mentions work. None of us have unique usernames, so the mentions don't work.
Right.
But
because it's the number, right?
Beautifully formatted Google Plus post that you've created in advance. And you've scheduled to share out at the best possible time for your business and your audience. Just make sure you listen for comments and you engage with people real time, but feel free to schedule that stuff in advance so that 3 o'clock in the afternoon you can be focusing on your business and not your Google Plus page activity, if that's the best time.
Exactly. Ooh, love it, brother. That is perfect.
There's my tip.
Okay.
And Bat Crap Crazy, got some brotherly love for Jeff C. and his awesome trailers. And if you haven't yet watched it, go to his Google Plus page or his YouTube channel and check out his latest Pinterest Tips for Men trailer. It is amazing. It'll blow your mind at this time.
I have a feeling that a lot of the movie theaters are going to be mad, because it literally is the guy, the voice of the guy when you hear like, in one world, another man, like that kind of thing. So it's Jeff, and it's Sieh.
Yep.
Go check him out. Next week he's going to have actually Peg Fitzpatrick and Rebecca Radice on his show. So he's going to bring in the ladies and hook them up with the men on Pinterest. So it's going to be awesome. Real quick, my back crap crazy, and he's sleeping, is Bob Voss, Tripod Bob, my cat son. Yesterday was his 9th birthday. He's such a piece of work. He's gone through cancer, amputation, and he's still rocking it. And ladies love Bob Voss, so he's got it all going on. So shout out to my cat son, Bob Voss. And there
He's
you go.
already famous.
he kind of that little hooker. Love him to death, telling you. All right, guys, another quick shout out to Edge Ad Exchange, my business affiliate, FCC disclosure, and a sponsor. And then also, hey, I want to have you guys go over and check out David Oldenburg and Christine DeGraff are on right after this on the Online Money Show, and they have Rebecca Radice. And then Chef Dennis, who doesn't love Chef Dennis? He's got a full panel of folks going on. They're both on at the same time over on Google Plus, because it really is must-see HOA Friday. I'm just saying. So, hey, guys, run through real quick. Where do I find you? Annabelle, go. What's your...
Okay, you guys can find me here on Google Plus or my website, annahilarski.com. Or if you want to know more about Panama, contact me or contact my husband, Randy Hilarski.
Boom, love it. Dave Moore.
Oh, well, you can find me on Twitter as More Consortium, one word. You can find me on Google as Plus Dave Moore. Pinterest is more consortium, so I'm told. I've never used it. And my blog at the moment is moreconsortium.blogspot.com, where it's updated with some mind-altering and funny stuff as well. So the website is Regeneretics, and it will be up on the 21st of February.
I love it, darling. Thank you. Miss Eva, where's the best place to thank you? Where's the best place to find you, sweetheart?
Well, you can find me here on Google on Twitter, on Pinterest, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I'm always with the same name and the same picture, so it's Eva Ignatovic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk about branding, by the way, right? Everybody's giving the thumbs up for Eva's kick-ass branding.
And of course, keep your eye on my blog, wickedrules.com.
I love it. And listen, everybody's going to post their shiny links on there too. Mike Alton, best place for you, brother.
Socialmediahat.com and Google Plus. I mean, yeah, I'm everywhere, but Google Plus is the social network, right?
Place to be.
Right. Yeah. Plus Mike Alton.
Green Acres, right? And I am at themiaconnect.com. Go over and subscribe just because I said so. That's all I got. All right, guys. That's it for the show this week. Thanks again, Annabelle, Dave, Eva, Mike. You guys had it all going on. I'm going to actually make a little video of all of you saying that crap crazy with those accents. It's going to be pretty good. Scott Scowcroft, shout out to you because you're going to help me with it. That's it, you guys. We'll see you next Friday, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Show sponsor and business affiliate, and that is Edge at Exchange. Go check them out at edgeatexchange.com if you are wanting to get some kick butt targeted web traffic. I'm also partnering with Annabelle's husband, Randy Hilarski, on that, so we all got something going on that little scene. So go check them out and give them a like as well. And guys, we're going to keep pulling up your comments because you know how I love to talk about how cool the panel is. So we are going to dive in. Again, it's the show based on awesome accents. And we're going to start with talking about international business. Of course, we've sort of already covered it with talking about what's going on. And Jason is in the Ukraine, you guys. Is that correct?
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely... So. It's pretty crazy, but to get into that, so of course, we're always going to add Google Plus into this because my world has changed dramatically since I got on Google Plus and met people like Annabelle and Randy. And Annabelle, I'm going to have you start because I know you are really kicking it hardcore. You're really making yourself known down in Panama and in Latin America, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Mia, again, for having me in your show. Well, as you guys know, Mia is our partner in the Exchange, which is I absolutely love it. She brings all the good people to the business, and we all relate everything together, which I love it. I'm the host of Social Media Guia with Ana Hilarski. That's a Spanish show about marketing, entrepreneurs, people who are doing different stuff for a living. So I totally love it. Beside that, Brandy and I starting to do a tourist business in Panama. So we are bringing a lot of people from different countries to come to Panama and relocation. Sorry. So if you want to know more about Panama, just contact me or contact my husband, Randy. I love it,
Oh, who's been to Panama? Anybody on the panel? Okay, not you, Annabelle. Okay. We all definitely want to get down there. And are you feeling like, for business-wise, that people really are starting, Randy and I have talked about the construction industry and so forth down there. You feel like there's starting to be a little bit more interchange outside of Panama of people coming down? We're on. No, we're all good. Hey, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the latest edition of the Mia Connect Power Chat, and I just got booted out of my own chat again. There was 3 of Mias up on the screen. It ain't a party until it's a hot mess. Correct, everybody?
Yeah. Woohoo!
It's always a hot mess. So listen, welcome to the show. This show today is going to be talking with a cool accent. We've been in the green room. Mike Alton and I are trying to think of something cool to say. He might be doing a Father Guido Sarducci, I understand, Mike? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that's coming on the way, but I am very excited to introduce my international panel with a little bit of U.S. flair thrown in, and I'm going to start with some applause. I'm going to start with my favorite Hobbit, Annabelle Hilarski, coming out of Panama. Welcome to the show, honey.
Oh, thank you so much, Mia, for having me in your show. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Annabelle Hilarski from Panama City, Panama. Right now we are in the summer season. I love it. So if you don't know Panama, please come here and visit us.
Yeah, and that's going to be happening soon. Just a little FYIZO. So get ready, you guys, for an IRL that's going to be off the chain when I get my happy self down to Panama with Annabelle and Randy. So
Can't wait that.
that is going to be good. Next up, we have the dulcet tones of Dave Moore. Welcome to the show, honey.
Thanks, Mia. It's great to be here. I've watched the show a lot of times, and I feel honoured to be here. Also, to be with a group of great people who I've followed on Google Plus and a few other social networks as well. So
yes.
Looking forward to the show.
And where are you out of? I think your accent's giving it away, honey.
I'm in London at the moment, in England, and this is where I'm based. And yeah, it's winter here, but that just means rain, which means it could also be summer. So as far as we're concerned in this country, so
I love it. Well, we need to get out there. I'm going to do an IRL.
Well, I have to say that I'm shouting out to Jason T. Weiser.
Yay, brother!
I love his hangouts. I love his show, and I'm very pragmatic. So I love the way he is doing his work and the guests he brings in, you know. So this is high for Jason.
I love it. Everybody raise your hand who loves Jason T. Weiser. Right here, dude. I know it. That's all for you. And let's send a little prayer out. I know things are pretty crazy where he is right now. He's been posting some things, so everybody send some good energy. I know he's there with his family. Not easy place to be at all. So you're in our prayers, brother, for sure. And Mike Alton, you got anybody you want to give a little special group hug to?
I was just going to piggyback on that and say, yeah, we need to keep Jason and his family and everybody that's over there in our prayers and thoughts, because yeah, it's getting crazy. Laws are being passed left and right.
I got goosebumps.
I don't even know what. It's insane. So.
Got to speak out, party people. That's the other thing. You got to really speak out when you're seeing something going on, and then support one another as well. So thank you for that, guys. Real quick, we're going to shout out some of our favorites in the audience. First, we have Lainey Sullivan talking about you, Mike. Love is prolificness. If I could write as fast as Mike Alton, that would be awesome. Rex Star, I love it. It's not a day that ends in Y without Lena Bate Johnson. Loving this international panel. Everyone is from somewhere. And even Mike was probably hatched from an international egg somewhere. That's awesome. And then we've also got Irene Brody. Hey, everyone. The fun begins. She's from your neck of the woods, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
If you have not met her, Digidash. She's going to be on my show in a couple weeks when I'm going to also have Mark Traphagen and Eric Engie in that. And shit's going to get real when Mark Traphagen starts playing his mandolin. Just so you know, I'm sure you all
can argue with that.
Are ready for that. And then we have Nikki Bossy, Midwest Holla. I'm from Illinois. Mark Alton, I need to borrow your hat. So I love it. And hey, before I get any further, I got to give a quick shout out to my continuing.
Yes. But yeah, we may bust out Father Guido Sarducci later. Maybe I'll be telling stories of the penultimate breakfast and the apostles sticking Jesus with the bill. So,
I love it. And by the way, did you see I popped out and popped back in? So I'm going to have you repeat what you just said in the event that YouTube decides to go dark right when you're talking. So tell us again, Mike Alton, social media hat, what you're all about, and say it different and even more entertaining.
I don't know that I can. Well, yes, I got my social media hat on because I'm from the Midwest.
I love it. Hey, by the way, Mike and I'm from Illinois. And are you in Missouri or Illinois?
I'm in Missouri.
Okay, listen, people, I want to let you know there's not that big of a difference, right? It's all the Midwest. So please, we would definitely want to bust out the Father Guido Sarducci. Let me pop in here real quick. I'm going to pull up some comments. Does anybody, while I'm pulling them up, does anybody have anybody they really, really want to shout out while I'm pulling up the comments again since I got booted out?
Oh, yeah, me. I want to shout out to Kritika. Thank you so much. She's always calling me the Panama Queen. I'm going to start believing it because I'm not a queen, but because of you, I'm going to start believing that.
Hi, Kitty Cat. She is so good about being such an advocate for everyone. I absolutely love her. She's got her own show with James Fierce called Get Busy with Jim and Kitty, which I absolutely love. So she is really good about that. How about you, Dave? You have anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I think we should give a shout out to Johan Gaultier of HR Rockstars, who's a little bit poorly at the moment. He's in bed with Angela Goodeve. No, I mean he's in bed with the flu, and Angela Goodeve is looking after him. So
Which I
let's hope he
absolutely
gets
love.
well soon.
Yes, Johan, we absolutely love you, my brother, and he is such a champion for so many people as well. Let me see. Eva, would you like to shout out anybody as I pull up the comments?
Well, since Johan and Kitty are already, you know, and
Covered RL with you too, so get ready for it. Get London all warmed up for me, I'm telling you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Next up,
will
we're
do.
all. Thank you, darling. We're gonna try and say her name all at once. We have Eva. Everybody say it.
Ignjanovic.
Ignjanovic.
Yanovit.
Welcome to the show, gorgeous. How are you?
Thank you for having me here. I'm
Absolutely.
great because I'm in great company. And my, you know, family name, it's complicated, so just call me Eva. It will be enough. I'm from Belgrade. I'm from Serbia, and it's a small country in Europe. And, you know, it's rain here as well as in London. And pretty much instead of winter, we have some kind of cold spring. So, well, Dave, when you come to Belgrade, nothing will change that much. And, and I have to say that I'm really happy and I'm really excited to be here on a Power Chat. And thank you, Mia. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And just so everybody knows, this is Eva's first time. We are popping her cherry. And so everybody be gentle. Eva was, we're all in a group, actually David and I and Eva, called H Rock Stars. And Eva and I did do a hangout before, but this really is her first official time. So welcome to the show. I'm really excited to have you on, darling. Thank you. And I did get my little comment check out. Last but not least, coming straight out of St. Louis, we've got Mike Alton, who has written 3 blog posts since the show started. That gets 2 glasses. For all of you who know, it's not a show.
You got to say it first.
I got to say it first, exactly, because it is not a show if we don't get to bust Mike Alton for how incredibly prolific he is for being a blog writer. Tell us about you, and I always have to say it. I love your company name, the Social Media Hat. I think it is so entertaining and spot on.
Thank you. I actually brought my social media hat instead of an accent. I don't get an accent. I'm from Ohio originally, so that's about as good as it